Welcome back to another episode of Life and Pinstripes. I'm TJ Stoltenberg.
I'm James Yavin.
And this is episode number 32.
Elston Howard.
Yeah, a little throwback there. Usually we have current players, but we're going old school on that one.
Yes.
For those of you...
Way back.
I don't know, I'm a Yankee fan, but Elston Howard, who? I wasn't sure of exactly who he was.
Well, think of it where he played. He played in the 50s and 60s where none of us were born yet, dude.
I was negative 40, but I learned a little bit about him. The man was the first African-American Yankee.
Yep.
So, that's pretty astounding.
1955, suited up.
How about them apples? And also, the man could play. Had a career batting average of .274.
That's pretty good for a catcher.
Had 167 homers.
Solid.
762 RBIs.
Solid.
1963 MVP.
Ayo.
63-64 Gold Glove.
Ayo.
12-time All-Star. And has 6 World Series rings.
Because that will do it if you play for the New York Yankees.
Yeah, basically. And he also coached the Yankees from like 69 to like 79.
79, yeah, but then declining health pretty much took him out of the ordeal.
Out of the ordeal. The ordeal.
You know what's funny? We didn't mention how, you remember how I was on the right side and you were on the left side?
Oh, last week? Was that
Yeah,
that?
that was last week, yeah.
We went with the Oppo Endo because I have the cut in my hair and I want people to see it, you know?
Yeah, and I was disgusted to be on the right side.
You're coiffed.
My coif did not fit on the right side.
You only have a one-way coiffed?
Pretty much. Well, you can see it right now.
Well, it's perfect because those bangs are blocking your view of, while we're doing this episode, Game D of the Yankees ALCS against the Astros is currently playing on the screen
right now as
a base hit just dropped in
by Michael Brantley.
So if random reactions happen, it's currently 1-0 Houston in the bottom of the third, and Paxton is just fighting to kind of stay in the echelon of Verlander, but we know we have a big test ahead of us with Verlander and tomorrow.
Yeah, and Garrett Cole at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, Garrett Cole, that guy. Sheesh. So...
Not an easy task for us.
Yeah, so Game 1 was kind of a big deal. And, gotta say, couldn't be more happy with how Game 1 went.
7-0.
For those who didn't know, 7-0. And the little highlight reel would be Masahiro Tanaka
pitching like a postseason hero.
Like the hero that Masahiro is.
And he had a little backup hero. His name is Gleyber.
Gleyber Torres.
Who would have thought?
We've been saying it all year. The man is 22 years old, but he plays like a veteran. He, in his post-game interview, he always talks about his planning, his tactics. He is precise. He has an idea of what he's doing when he comes to the plate.
He loves to hit with guys on base.
Oh, yeah. And that's a sign of a great hitter. Somebody that is riled up and hones in the big moments. And had 3 hits. Granted, one of them was a home run.
Yeah.
He had a double.
And a little dink bloop single.
And that bloop single came with the bases loaded. So that was huge. And extended our lead from 3-5 at the moment. But, nonetheless, liked what we saw in Game 1. Across the board. Now, what were some of the negatives you saw in Game 1 before the Tanaka thing?
That was my negative thing.
Then let's talk about it.
All right, Masahiro Tanaka. He threw 68 pitches through 6 innings,
which is not a lot.
That is not a lot of pitches. Yes, I understand you want your bullpen arms to get a little bit of action, but he's thrown 68 pitches. Why would you take him out?
And the BS reason. Now, granted, Boone's been doing a good job all year of dealing with injuries and pitching.
He's done phenomenal this postseason so far. Yeah. I do have to admit that.
But I completely disagreed with the idea of
there's another base hit by Altuve.
Now it's first and second.
First and second, one out. We could possibly get a double. But back to what we were saying.
Masahiro Tanaka was pitching lights out. Literally, no one made solid contact off of him the entire game.
Uh-oh, Aaron Boone's coming out.
Oh, God, Boone's taking out.
Is he taking him out?
Yeah, he has to. If the skipper's coming out, he's coming out.
Oh, but he's singling the righty. I'm pretty sure he's going to be Chad Green. Oh, that's disappointing. You kind of want him to do well.
Yeah, but he'd have to work out of another jam sauce.
Yeah.
Anywho, back to Tanaka. We're a little upset. He got pulled. Now, here's the thing. We had a tight lead. It was only 3-0, and then yes, it became 5-0, but still, Why? Why give the other team any positive energy? The point is, Tanaka was unhittable, and the very last person he faced, he struck him out.
Not to mention, he had, I think it was a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning too. So he literally showed no signs of slowing down.
Zero signs of fatigue, and that was the crap reason. See, I just wish Boone would just come out and say it, the real reason. Maybe he doesn't want to reveal the real reason because of his tactics are secretive and whatever.
Unless he's being saved for a particular reason, like a Game 4, Game 5.
Maybe since we're not very long in starting pitching, like Paxton being pulled in the third just now, maybe that's what's going on. Maybe there's a sign he's going to be play Game 4 and hopefully Game 7.
Maybe he's going to be a piggyback rider.
Yeah, so we'll see. But that is the only thing that made sense to me, and of course he's not going to say that. He said some aloof thing like, "Oh, he was getting tired there. There was a few pitches that were."
You do not get tired after 68 pitches if you've thrown 6 innings.
Yeah, especially if it's a one-hit gem.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, I know that was a BS reason there in Boone, but you keep the real reason to yourself. I just thought, why? Granted, some of our bullpen arms haven't seen much action because we've been winning the entire playoffs.
We also haven't played since Monday, like you said.
So,
by the way, thank you.
A little rust.
Thank you for showing up, Minnesota Twins.
Hey,
I know, but
we are humble.
We are humble, but
history repeated itself
again and again and again. Of course, against the Minnesota Twins.
And it's really annoying that they took the home run whole team total away from us just at the end there.
Yeah.
They had 307 and
we had 306, but you know what? It doesn't matter how many home runs you hit. It's all about how far you get into October.
Yeah.
And let's just say this. Not only did we beat the Twins, we destroyed them, and I honestly kind of felt bad for them.
Yeah. They had no positivity, and then they lose Game 3 at their home turf. They didn't even get to have a second game at home.
They had bases loaded, nobody out.
Oh, and our boy Severino, the first real test. That was good. That was good.
That was beautiful.
See.
He got a pop up like high in the air, and then he got 2 strikeouts after that, and he got fired up after that.
And that was his kind of turning the page of having the past still there, kind of fresh in his mind. As much as he wants to say, I don't remember what happened. That was ago. That was times ago. Now he still carried that with him, and guess what? He worked into damage with bases loaded, nobody out, and he worked out of damage.
There was a lot of times he got himself into trouble, but he was able to get out without 0 runs.
Being a young, strong arm that he is, and the young mind, he played like a veteran. He stayed calm, and then he also got fired up and did the job.
Love it.
So he's going to be big in Game 3 against Cole. So we're going to see.
That's going to be a fun pitching matchup.
Yeah,
at Yankee Stadium, nonetheless, with our fans.
Yeah,
see what happens.
I mean, because the odds of right now, we are in the 3rd inning with only 1 out, and the Astros have 1st and 2nd, and Verlander is on the mound for them. We have Chad Green in already. So we're going to see some arms of all kinds come from the Yankees facing Verlander.
I know. It's like...
So the odds are slightly against us right now.
Slightly, but you know what? You got to stay positive. It's only 1-0. It could have been a lot worse.
Yep. And you would have had to score to win anyway, so 1 run ain't nothing. But
1 run against Verlander, that's not a very easy task. Ooh, that was a good one.
That does add the sauce to the pot for the next game at Yankee Stadium with Sevy. But a lot of good things to like about Game 1, but as professionals are...
That was yesterday. Let's focus on today.
Exactly.
And you got to focus on now.
Right now, the pot is hot.
With Bregman, an MVP candidate, against Chad Green. He has an 0-2 count already.
The kettle is steaming, and it could teeter at any moment because...
anything could change.
A 1-run lead with Verlander is sometimes enough.
It feels like it's like a 10-0 lead.
Yeah, hopefully. So that's why we don't need it to go 2, 3, 4. If it goes past 3, I hate to say it, that's probably plenty for Verlander. But we still have hopes. So this is a big moment already in the 3rd inning, and that's the thing with Paxton. When we were talking a couple episodes ago about who you're going to go with in the game, it actually, no,
into the glove.
Yes, get up, throw the ball. Yeah, okay, all right.
Into it. But anyway, back to Paxton.
So Cameron Maben just made a nice little sliding, awkward catch in the gap.
Because I thought it was, first of all,
looked like a double.
I thought 2 runs were going to score.
Looked like a double. Looked like 2 runs.
But anyway,
now it's an out. So there's 2 outs. we talked about who was going to be going. Now, maybe they were looking ahead and looking at the Twinkies and being like, we can beat the Twinkies here. Here we go. So maybe it was this series, because this series I was happy to have Tanaka going in Game 1. I liked Paxton starting Game 2. Not that I'm trying to throw it away to Verlander, but it's just saying like, hey,
it seems like a little bit of an unfair matchup.
Let's save Severino for, because that's crazy. Cole's even pitching better than Verlander, and that's.
I think Sevy with the support, with the fans in the background, I think he will be able to have a good performance.
Yeah,
especially you need a good performance against Garrett Cole.
Yeah. And we do have a lot of righties in our lineup, so maybe Garrett Cole could, not be Garrett Cole for a minute.
Buzz off.
Buzz off, guys.
But anyway.
But yes, so a lot of things to like about Game 1. Game 2, we're in a little hot water right here.
And a pop-up.
And there's a
pop-up.
Come on, Didi, get there.
Yeah! All right, Chad Green comes in, throws 5 pitches, and gets 2 outs.
That's how you do it, Chad. Throw gas, get dinks, get ball caught. Good job. All right. 1-0, we're heading to the top of the 4th.
Yes, with back to the top of the lineup with LeMahieu, Judge, and Gleyber.
Oh, and that was the other thing, because you reminded me by Verlander facing the minimum.
Yeah.
Masahiro Tanaka getting 2 double plays yesterday. It was the first time the Astros had faced the minimum after 6 innings since, like, the previous year facing Texas or something like that. I just gave you such a random stat that was nowhere near correct. But the point was, when do the Houston Astros have the minimum with that lineup that they have?
Literally, they're 1 through 9 is stacked.
Yeah,
almost
stacked.
Almost as savage.
And I'm pretty sure their 9-hitter was like the first hit, I think. 8 or 9 hitters.
That today's game or yesterday?
No, in yesterday's game.
Oh, yes. Oh, it was Kyle Tucker. He was the number 8 hitter.
That guy. Yeah, so the point being, a lot of big moments in pendulum swinging, momentum, and Bregman getting picked off first by Aaron Judge.
Oh, that was beautiful, by the way.
Nice line drive hit to right. Judge makes a good catch. Can't really plant his feet, but throws an 88-mile-an-hour fastball, 1 hop to DJ playing.
I just gotta say this. Give him the Gold Glove already. For God's sake.
For God's sake.
Look at what he's done!
Yeah, and if anything was in question, that was a strike thrown right on the dot to DJ. And
and he scooped it too, nonetheless. Like
and DJ playing first like he's been doing it his whole life. And he had another big scoop on the other double play that came at a very key moment.
Oh yeah, was it the 7th inning, that one?
Yeah.
After the miscommunication.
Yeah, it was the 7th inning, yeah.
Yeah, Ottavino got the double play ball.
Little dribbler that goes through where both miscommunication.
Everyone was like, do not get this momentum shifting towards Houston.
No, you're going to get it. And then it was 1st and 3rd with one out and Bregman was up. The double play came at that moment. Defense was like, we're not letting this go through a second time. Ball was thrown a little hard and low, but DJ made a great scoop at first. It was a very clutch double play, and anytime that momentum almost came knocking, it swung back the Yankees' way. So,
let's be honest. I was a little bit nervous with having LeMahieu at first because I know he had a little bit of trouble there, but
I did think about it. I thought about it a little bit, but you know what? The fact that I've watched him all year, just be a consummate professional. He doesn't ever react. You ever realize that? Like like Buck Showalter said in pregame, he never really says what he's going to do. He just goes and does it.
No, he doesn't bitch and complain. He goes out, he does his job, he does a phenomenal job.
Yeah,
pretty much 98% of the time.
Yeah, and wherever you put him, 2nd, 3rd, even if you.
Well, this was the way. He's
gotten the job done all year.
This was pretty much the way if you wanted to get Urshela, Didi, and Torres in the infield.
Yep. And guess what? He's a team player like he's been all year.
And speaking of DJ, he's up.
And he takes a really loopy curveball that's high for strike 1. But another interesting fact, they were talking about DJ yesterday and his kind of lack of respect for the hitting title he had out when he was in Colorado. People giving it to the altitude he's in, the ball sails or whatever.
That was kind of like one of the reasons why he got the contract what he did when he came with the Yankees. Because they were just unsure of what his hitting was going to be like when he left Coors Field.
Ladies and gentlemen, was just 2 years, $24 million. That is a bargain for what he's been doing.
Exactly, and his numbers is probably a lot better than Bryce Harper, who's right now just sitting on his on his ass on the couch saying, "Why wasn't I on the Nationals?"
Yeah, and speaking of which, it's strange that in the National League, the Washington Nationals
Yes.
are, and here's the story. If y'all aren't following the National League, because I don't think anybody really does,
No, because the powerhouse teams of the National League
we're pretty much watching the World Series here between the Yankees and Astros. Whoever wins this is probably, but gotta win every game, But we're gonna say this: the National League, the Washington Nationals won that wild card game. If you remember, there was a single hit to right field that was supposed to just tie the game,
courtesy of Juan Soto, and then a little
misplay, a little miscue, a little error. Gets the winning run in, eventually the winning run, and that was the ball game. Nationals were an error away from not winning the wild card game. Now they are up 2-0
against the Cardinals. I did not expect that, by the way.
That's the thing about the National League. Like, how different is that? Because you knew in your heart of hearts, Yankees and Astros are going to be in the ALCS.
Oh yeah, everyone knew. Literally as soon as that, Yankees and Astros are going to be in the ALCS, and everyone thought it was going to be the Braves and the Dodgers in the NLCS.
It's just,
which would have been awesome.
That's what you expect, but that's the thing about the National League, and that's like, even if the Dodgers or Braves made it to the next stop,
you want to talk about a choke job between those two teams? Look what happened.
And
that's disappointing.
The metaphor of Clayton Kershaw. He has like a 7-7 before this offseason, this
postseason.
He was a .500 pitcher in the postseason, but the stat that really is killer, he's above 4 ERA. Now, it got even worse this postseason.
Definitely, especially in the 8th inning when he...
DJ drew a walk, by the way.
Ayo!
Man on first, nobody out.
But anyway, Clayton Kershaw comes in with a 3-1 lead in Game 5. You figure your spirits are high. Mm-hmm. We're probably going to win this game. Gives up back-to-back home runs.
Yikes.
Makes it 3-3.
Yikes.
And then that was it for Kershaw. And everyone keeps on saying about what's going to happen with the Dodgers. Who's the fault on this? Is it Kershaw? Is it Dave Roberts? Is it the team? What is it?
I don't know, because you got your guy who got you there over the years, but still, baseball is a very now sport. What's happening right now? And
what happened right now?
Judge foul ball.
Okay.
But the point is, the National, it's just like, it's a house of cards. It's weak. Like, you're like, okay, well, I'm expecting maybe the Brewers to do something, or this is a good team, that's a good... But anybody could kind of beat anybody. It's a 52-card pickup. You have no idea which card you're picking up, and it could have been anybody, the Cardinals or the Nationals or whoever. But in the AL... it was either the Yankees and Astros or the Rays and the Twins. And not saying anything against those two teams. Yeah. Judge hit a ball very well.
Right. Get out. Yes!
2-run home run by Aaron. Let's go.
So damage against Verlander. That was also the first hit of the game.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, man. Severino going bonkers on the top step. Not going to lie, did not expect that.
No, man.
Wow!
Yes!
What a big punch.
Woo!
And that's more testament to Paxton getting out of that inning and Chad Green getting out of that next inning. We're beating Verlander right now, 2-1, ladies and germs, and it's the top of the 4th.
And I'm glad that we got that, by the way.
And wow, we got a whole bullpen ahead of us. Here we go.
Wow.
Aaron took us, what I saw in my periph, by the way, was a slider. Now, he's been having trouble with that slider away. He's swinging over the top of it.
Well, he struck out. I think he struck out on the slider on the first at bat.
And in all series, he's been swinging and missing at that slider. But nonetheless, he hit this one, and far away it went.
Hit that dead center, close to right center, close into the bullpen.
That's how you know it took flight. The ball is kind of probably.
It was just kept on going and going and going.
It's got that backspin going up.
But anyway, 2-1.
Right.
I'm smiling now. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We can probably both admit we did not expect that. We're like gnawing at our teeth.
I thought we were gonna get shut out. Not gonna lie.
Ooh, we're gnawing at our teeth for just to get one run across.
Gleyber just fouled off.
Here it is. Here's the replay.
And yep,
it was a
fastball.
Oh no, that was a foul ball. Yeah.
This is the slider.
It was the slider. Caught a little too much to the plate.
Right down Broadway, and he just crushed it.
He got it. Let's go, baby.
We are your top baseball analysis right now.
That was funny. We both were like, "Oh, it was a fastball." Oh no, that was a replay.
No, because it was the foul ball that he fouled.
They showed the foul
ball, and then
ball.
he got the slider instead, which went right down Broadway. And see you later.
Yeah, that was nice, and that's what you want to do with a pitch like that. It's an 88-mile-an-hour slider coming in from Verlander. This ain't no like cheesy one. This guy's got such deception and such a strong slider. You hit that the opposite way, you see it deep, and then you try to hit that 95-mile-an-hour fastball square. But
Justin Verlander is the definition. He ages fine like wine. Think of it that way. He's gotten so much better as he's gotten older, and now I think because he's on the Astros and not the Tigers, who aren't going anywhere, it gives him a boost of confidence to actually be a veteran and to be a leader.
Absolutely. And on top of that, this is where you find out what kind of man he is, and we already do know. But when you give up a home run like that, when you are cruising,
especially
when you haven't given up a hit yet, now you're down 2-1. Verlander, he's been here before. Let's see how he reacts. He's got our best hitter right now, Gleyber Torres, down 1-2. But
baby Gleyber.
Let's see what he does. All game, he has been perfectly hitting the top of the strike zone with his first pitch fastball. So if any Yankee hitter is trying to be aggressive, it's just too high to hit it square.
Yeah, it's pretty much been like a little bit high, like if you watch the game, like there's that line in the batter's box, literally on that line, pretty much to every batter.
So nobody can square it up, and then when he goes and throws that slider, it starts right at the letters and it dips down and away fast. It's an 88-mile-an-hour slider. Tanaka's fastball yesterday was 90. So it tells you how much speed and how much little time you have to hit a ball moving that much.
Ooh.
And Gleyber
right to your ex-teammate.
Georgie Porgy Pudding and Pie.
Okay.
Well,
that's also another thing I want to talk about. Plate discipline has actually been pretty good in the first 5 postseason games.
Yes. Now, we did bring this up pre-podcast.
Yes.
The two people that have not really had the plate discipline, yesterday, known for his discipline, Edwin Encarnacion.
No, it was like swinging. It's like the tale of kind of like 2 different series because he came out swinging in the division series.
But he came out swinging it yesterday, and it was like constant slider low and away, slider low and away, slider low and away. And you didn't see the adjustment. He was still early, and eventually he'd swing and miss.
Yeah. Speaking of Edwin, he's up right now.
He's up. Let's see if he can do something.
It's like we know which batters is coming up.
Telling their story. And then there's Brett Gardner, who watched a couple pitches right down the middle. And that's just a sign of...
That was very Luke Voigt-esque for a second.
He's in his head a little much. Brett Gardner normally has a good eye at the plate. But what we saw can always be washed away with one good at bat.
Yeah, ooh. He just went for high cheese right
Edwin
there.
Just swung at a ball at his eyes. Nonetheless, other than those two, a lot of plate discipline across the board, including someone I'm proud of, Giancarlo.
First of all, those haters out there really need to shut up.
Well, here's the thing. I'm definitely pumped that he got a home run in a clutch moment.
I'm pumped that he doesn't strike out in every at-bat, by the way.
And Edwin just struck out on a slider low and away. Like I said.
Deja vu.
But Giancarlo finally kind of had his like little Yankee moment where he's like, all right, he's in the swing of things. He had a good big home run to extend our lead, and it kind of gave us a little breathing room, and that was great. Now, the thing that kind of ticks me off is, dude, you played 18 games in the regular season, and your quad is tight, and he's out of Game 2 lineup.
Why is it that every time he has an awesome moment, he somehow gets injured 2 hours later?
He's like made of toothpicks or something.
Like seriously, like what the hell?
Like, okay, so I get it. He did get taken out of the game, I believe in the 7th or 8th, defensive replacement.
See, that's what I thought that was. I didn't realize.
I'm pretty sure it was that.
I didn't realize he got injured. I didn't realize.
Did he like celebrate too much last night?
I think
is that the real reason?
I think I read something that was it when he was running down the first, he kind of like tweaked something, but somehow still stayed in the game though.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the AL. You can have him DH maybe. I don't know, but maybe then you have.
But still though, you kind of
Edwin plays on one.
You lose a powerful bat though, especially
when he's finding himself with plate discipline.
He's getting hot though, and that's a scary thing.
And the key to him was, all last year, he was pressing too hard to be a Yankee.
He wanted to be a Yankee. He wanted to be the hero. He wanted those fans to not boo him every at-bat.
You know, it's hard to go from being a Miami Marlin and dominating when you have no other teammates, and then to be a big fish in a big pond. he wanted to prove, hey, I'm worth the money. I'm worth what you guys gave me. And he pushed a little too much. He pressed. He's a little always early.
You couldn't help but feel bad. Everyone kept on giving
Yeah, exactly. Because we, as Yankee fans, we're the type to feel bad. We want to see him. We never boo. We won't boo a team.
No.
We'll boo someone if they don't run something out, if they don't do something right, like that. But I won't boo a guy wanting something.
It's like everyone was comparing Giancarlo to A-Rod, someone with a ton of money and expectations through the roof, and he doesn't fulfill those expectations. Right. Like, they want him to homer every at-bat.
Right.
That's not how that works. That's not how the game of baseball is played.
His stat line wasn't that bad. And, yeah, he played 18 games this year, but he's had, in those 18 games and this postseason, his at-bats have been much more disciplined. He is not swinging.
He's not chasing.
A low and away slider that dips out of the zone. He swung at that too much the previous year, pressing too much. He lets it go. He makes them pitch to him in the zone, and when he makes contact, that ball goes far.
Very far.
So, and yesterday he hit a beautiful ball to Oppo Taco, center field, and
into the bullpen,
and had that missed. As soon as that went over the wall, I was jacked.
There's so much to talk about. My goodness, it gets exciting.
It is. And yesterday, so the time of day I'm watching, and I'm trying to explain the game of baseball to my girl. She's Brazilian, and she doesn't know baseball at all. And I just realized explaining baseball is actually not that easy.
No, try it. You know it is, because we're diehard baseball fans.
Oh, no, of course. No, but even, like, explaining football was, like, slightly easier. I was like, okay, you get 4 tries to get this much space.
Because it's a mental game. That's what it is.
Baseball, there's no way I'm even describing the mental aspects, the chess matches, because the funny thing was, I just had to start with balls and strikes with her. She's asking me, what's that square on the screen? I'm like, okay, so if the pitcher throws what's the pitcher? I'm like, oh, it's the guy throwing the ball. She's like, who's that? I'm like, okay, all right, it's this guy. And when I find to describe the ball inside the square, then it'd be like a foul ball. She's like, well, how come that's not the third strike? I'm like, okay, that's a good question. Like, how do I answer that?
Because it's like you're keeping yourself alive, pretty much.
Right.
That's why. Like,
but
why would
what does that mean to somebody who doesn't know what that means? You know what I mean? Like to a baseball.
Oh, that's actually tough.
And then here's the other thing. When I said if the ball is outside the square, it's called a ball. And if you get 4 balls, you get to walk to first base.
I don't know.
And she's like, yeah, it's a ball. I'm like, no, not what it is.
No,
it's called a ball.
It's called a ball. The ball, if the thing is not in the strike zone, like if the pitch is up, that's a ball.
But saying it over and over to her, I made it realize, like, baseball is not easy to explain to somebody who has no idea what's going on.
No. It is actually very tough.
Because think about this sentence alone. Like, okay, she's like, I know he threw the ball, but it wasn't in the square. I'm like, yeah, so it's called a ball.
It's called a ball.
She's I don't know. Why is a ball not called a ball if it's in the square? I'm like, this is blowing my mind.
Why don't you ask the baseball creators who did that? But I also think of, you ever watch Bull Durham?
Yes.
You throw the ball, you catch the ball, you hit the ball. That is it.
Plain and simple. And that is what good baseball players do. They just keep it simple. They don't let their mind go crazy. But I did have a great time explaining to her, and God bless her, she made it through the first inning, and she was watching, and she was asking questions. What was that? What was this? When a ball was hit on the ground and they turned that double play, I was like, okay, so yeah, the guy on first base was going to second, so we threw the ball there first. And then we still got it to first before the runner got there. And she's like, oh! Seeing the light bulb pop was adorable. And then she passed out in the 3rd inning. And I was like, all right, you did your part. Good job.
It's okay. You were texting me the whole time.
I was, because I had my left arm here, and my right arm was on my phone. And when Giancarlo hit that home run, I was just right fist in the air. And I was internally screaming.
Oh, yeah. That's impossible, by the way. Like, it wasn't like
I just did.
I remember when Didi hit that grand slam in game 2. Yeah. I was screaming on the top of my lungs because I couldn't believe it.
And it was so much extra special because of him. He's been struggling.
Yeah, it's like everyone wanted him benched, and you're like saying to yourself, why the hell do you want him benched? And then he does something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, thank the Lord for that happening.
And it makes us complete from head to toe, from 1 to 9 in the lineup. We are savages.
The beloved savages.
Our beloved savages. And
That kind of sounds like an oxymoron, by the way, because Savages is not really beloved.
Right, it's not like a lovable thing, but that's why we are Savages.
We're Savages in that box. Courtesy of Aaron Boone, 2019.
And I want to say we appreciate and thank Clovercrest Media Group.
Yes.
You are our guys. We are your guys. We thank you for being our guys. And we are here at the end of our podcast. So
can you believe it? We've been doing this for 30 minutes. I feel like we've been talking about this for like 2 hours.
We just started. But nonetheless, tell them where they can find us.
You can find us on Twitter at Life Pinstripes, Instagram Life and Pinstripes, podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify.
Yeah.
So much.
We're out there. Our podcast is
And also,
out
you
there.
can find us on the YouTube.
And you know what's a good idea?
What's
Even if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just fast forward to the middle and just let it go. Just let it play in the background.
Yes, hence the reason why we have that little description on the bottom, like right near where the drama-free zone is.
You can read what part's being talked about. So for those who are not interested so much in the Yankees talk and you want to hear our life drama interessante talk,
Just go look at our
skip ahead, see
or look at our previous episodes.
Because we want those who are listening to all sorts of things in life to know we talk more than just baseball. But in this episode, it was just baseball.
Well, it's October baseball, the best, nerve-wracking, and anxious, excitement, tense,
awesomeness.
All of the other things right now, as you probably saw our reaction after Judge hit that 2-run.
Oh, yeah.
Monster shot!
So we'll be leaving you now, and we're leaving the Yankees. They are up 2-1. It's the bottom of the fourth. 1 out, 0-2 count on Carlos Correa, and Chad Green is still pitching.
Yep, and he's looks like he's doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully keep it.
Oh, and I'm scared to face that starter in Game 3.
They're showing Garrett Cole right now.
15 2/3 innings, 25 strikeouts against the Rays.
He's just a slumbering assassin waiting to
slit
our throats.
He knows he wants to do that.
But he's got to do it in Yankee Stadium.
We got to dodge the arrows
Against Severino.
Sevy!
So hopefully we'll sever that stuff from happening.
Yes. We hope you liked our reactions, by the way.
We hope you liked our reactions. Remember, comment, ask questions, send some stuff. And
download, subscribe.
Yeah, we'll bring you up on the air next time if you leave us a little something.
We'll show you a little bit of a little love from James and TJ.
Yeah. So, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. And never forget to rock and or roll. Oh, yeah.
That was just so smooth.
All right, let me click the button.
Yep, click the button.